In 9.1, we're going to talk about the perimeter and area of rectangles, parallelograms, and triangles. So the perimeter is the distance around a region. So if we want to find the perimeter of a regular pentagon with side lengths S, so remember regular means all sides are the same. And each side is 1.26. So if I count up the sides, I see this pentagon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can find the perimeter pretty easy by taking 5 times 1.26. I have 5 groups of 1.26, and that is going to give me 6.3 centimeters. Same thing if you were to add up 1.26 5 times. That is going to give you 6.3 centimeters. Okay, in our next example, it says find x in this situation. So we have a rectangle, and our situation is that the perimeter is 32. This is our given information, and our length of our rectangle is 12 centimeters. We want to know what is x. So if we know that this length of our rectangle is 12, then the top is 12 as well. So when we add up those two sides, we have 12 plus 12 gives us 24 centimeters. So that is the perimeter of these two sides. When we take away that from 32, our total perimeter, we have 8 left. If we have 8 centimeters left, and that has to be divided evenly between this side and this side because they are both x. We know that x plus x is going to equal 8. Well, we know that x plus x is 2x, and to figure out what x equals, we divide by 2. Our x is 4. Okay, our next one, we've got to draw our picture. So we have something that looks like this. And this is all the information we are given about our sides. This is 14. We know this is 3. This side here is 6. Bottom is y, x, 4, and 7. Okay, and this says find x, y, and the perimeter. Well, if we look at our y here on this side, we know that this piece and this piece and this piece all need to add up to 14 to make this shape true. So if we have 3 plus y plus 4 equals 14, we can figure out what our y is. So we have y plus 7 equals 14 minus 7. We get our y value of 7. Then we can do a similar thing with x. So we know that this piece right here plus this piece minus this piece, because these overlap, we can't add all these up because this piece right here is extra. That is going to give us 12. So let's write that. So we have 6 plus 7 minus x equals 12. So if you want to think about it, you could think about, if we were looking at our shape here, we start at the top at this point, we go down 6, and then we follow over here, up X, and then back down 7. So this is kind of where this equation comes from here. So once we get this equation set up, we can solve for X. We have 13 minus X equals 12 minus 13. Get negative X equals negative 1. And divide by negative 1. X is 1. Okay, so now that we have X and Y, we can add up all of our sides to find a perimeter. So that's going to give us 12 plus 3 plus 6 plus Y, which is 7, plus X, which is 1, plus 4 plus 7 plus 14. We add that all up. That gives us 54 is our perimeter. Okay, so the difference between perimeter and area is that area is the amount of space inside of a geometric figure. And where we have perimeter is always in some unit, area is going to be in square units. So if we had centimeters, the area would be centimeters squared. Okay, so let's look at some more area examples. You should all remember that the area of a rectangle is length times width. You have been using that formula for a long time now. So in our first example, if we have a rectangle with a width of 2 and a length of 12.5, our area is going to equal 12.5 times 2, which is 25 feet squared. Those units are feet squared. Now, if we have the perimeter of a rectangle is 24 and its length is 7 feet, find its width and area. So our length is 7 feet and our perimeter is 24. So if we have 7 plus 7, that is 14. That means we take our perimeter minus that, those two sides, we're left with 10. That means these other two sides here are going to have to add up to 10. 2x equals 10, so our x is going to be 5. That's our width of our rectangle, and now it wants us to find the area. So if we know area is length times width, we have 5 times 7, which is 35 feet squared. Now if we have a parallelogram, our formula is going to be a little different. Our area is our base times the height of the parallelogram. So if we have the base right here, our height is going to be how tall that parallelogram is right here. 90-degree angle here, so straight down. This is our height. So if we look at an example, if we are given this parallelogram with a height of 7 inches, a base of 9 inches, and the side here is 8 inches, it says to find the perimeter and area of the parallelogram. So for perimeter, we're going to add up all of our sides. Perimeter, our parallelogram, we know our top and bottom sides are the same, and our two sides, left and right, are going to be the same. So we have 9 plus 9 plus 8 plus 8. Our perimeter is going to be 34 inches. Now our area is going to be our base times our height, where our base is 9 inches and our height is 7 inches. So 9 times 7 gives us 63, and those inches are going to become inches squared. Okay, our last one here on this page, we have one more page after this, but we have a formula for the area of a triangle. And again, this should be a review. You should remember that the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, where this is the height of our triangle, h. We have a 90-degree angle in the corner here. And the base of our triangle is the bottom side. So the last page here, we're going to go through a few examples. So it says find the area of each triangle. If this is our given information, this is 15, this is 6, and our dotted lines here, this is 12 centimeters. Our area of our triangle, we know area is 1/2 base times height. In this case, the base of our triangle is 6, and the height of our triangle is 12. So we have 1/2 6 times 12, which gives us 36 centimeters squared. Number 2, our triangle is 10 centimeters on all sides, and our height is 8 centimeters. Formula for triangle, area is 1/2 base height. Our base here we have is 10, and our height is 8. 1/2, 10 times 8 gives me 40 in units squared. Okay, number 3. Sides 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so in this case, I see my right angle right here. I know that this right here, if I turned the triangle, or turned my paper so that this was the base right here, then this, my 4, could be my height, because this is my right angle. So if you're having a hard time seeing that, turn your paper so you can see that right angle and see the base and the height. We can plug those numbers in. 1/2 times 3 times 4, which is going to give me 6. 6, and they're centimeters here. Centimeters squared. Okay. Last two, we have a parallelogram for number 4, and the information we are given is the area is 78 millimeters squared. Our side here is 13 millimeters, and we don't know what the height is. That is what we want to find out. Well, we know that the area of a parallelogram is base times height. If the area is 78 and our base is 13, we can find out what our height is by dividing by 13. And we get 6 millimeters is equal to our height for that parallelogram. Okay, last one here. We are given that this is 12. We don't know our base, but we know the area is 36 feet squared. So if area is 1/2 base times height, 36 equals 1/2. We don't know the base, but we do know the height. Can simplify it a little bit. 36, 1/2 of 12 is 6 times the base. Divide by 6, and I get my base is 6. And that would be 6 feet.